Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island, Season 11, Episode 5.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it.
So Kieran is feeling Nicole over Harriet.
Uh-oh.
To the point that when everyone is getting ready, he's got the guys clapping while he's cheering her name and spelling her name out.
Wow. That's love.
Nicole chats with Harriet. Nicole is upset that Harriet wasn't being open and honest with her when they were having their one-on-one conversation. Mm-hmm. And Harriet says, well, he did kiss me. She didn't bring it up because she thought she was going to speak to him first. Mm-hmm. And Harriet was caught off guard by Nicole pulling her aside. She ends up apologizing for the kiss. Now, for me, I thought that was a whole load of baloney.
From who?
Harriet.
Okay.
Why would you need to talk to him first before talking to Nicole and telling her what happened? What does that even matter? She was like, I thought he was going to talk to me in the morning, but we never talked. So what does that matter?
Well, mm-hmm. I don't understand the angle you like attacking this from, Blair.
Okay.
Meaning like what, like it's baloney that she wanted to talk to.
I don't think she ever wanted to tell Nicole that they kissed. I don't think she was ever going to. I think that was something she wanted to keep close to her chest because she didn't think it was Nicole's business. I feel like if that's the case, just say that. I
mean, it's not Nicole's business. And I agree with that angle. Because I do believe that she was confused by the kiss. Because the next morning, as we know, that he didn't say nothing to her, nor did he, basically acknowledge that she was even there. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like Harriet was confused. But I do agree that Harriet also does feel like I don't owe you anything. Yeah. Like, I don't know why you coming to me basically saying, like, I wasn't open with you. I don't owe you anything. Like, this is my connection. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, if that's how you really feel, say that. And then she apologizes about the kiss. You ain't sorry about the kiss? But Nicole says she doesn't mind the kiss. She just thinks that, she feels that, everybody should go all out with whatever they want to do. We're all here to find love. And Harriet says, well, if you want him, you can have him. Oh, well, okay.
Kieran still doesn't know what he wants to do, but he is feeling Nicole more. Uh-huh. He's talking to Sean, and Sean is saying that he kind of wants to see what's up with Harriet.
I mean, he better. Yeah. Because I'm about to say...
Otherwise, she going home.
Exactly.
So Sean chats with Harriet. He tells her that Kieran is interested in Nicole and Harriet. So he didn't kind of spill any of the beans, really. But he did say, he's kind of leaning towards Nicole from what I gather. Sean lays his cards on the table and tells Harriet that she's gorgeous. He'd like to get to know her more. And she is also open to getting to know him. But she kind of wants to wrap things up with Kieran and kind of figure out that situation first.
Listen here, you better learn how to play the game, Harriet. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, even if you like Sean or not, you need to be paired with somebody. Yes. You know what I mean?
So this is the catalyst to the drama of the episode.
Uh-oh, who's this?
Joey chats with Harriet.
EP Joey?
Sound like it.
Okay.
I'm like, is Joey here for love or is Joey here to make reality TV?
Both.
So she is relaying to Joey that Kieran doesn't have a clear head. Joey thinks it's obvious that Kieran likes Nicole. I mean, he was even chanting Nicole's name in the bedroom. That's news to Harriet. Joey tells Harriet to, you need to spread your wings, get the grafting, get the flirting with folks, and get to know other people. And she's just like, yeah, well, I don't really know. And, all this type of stuff. So Joey's just like, okay, we're going to end this right now. So he calls over Kieran and asks him point blank, who do you like more? And then Harriet asks him, were you chanting Nicole's name in the room? And he said, yes. And he was saying, and he says, Nicole. And then he asks, is that it? And they say, yeah. And then he walks off. And Joey says, well, that is positive. Now Now you can get the grafting.
Wow. What is your thoughts on this scene?
I thought Joey was being messy. It was not Joey's place to pull Kieran over to get the ball rolling. However, I'm glad he did it. Because Harriet, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? And Kieran, what are we waiting for? Y'all are not talking to each other. And y'all have had multiple conversations with multiple people. And it's the evening hangout or whatever like that. And it's just like, what are y'all doing? Avoiding each other?
It's not that I'm avoiding you. I just don't like you. Okay. Like I was chanting another girl's name while I was taking a shower and getting dressed. I even had the guys in on it. Yeah. But I feel like Joey broke boy code, guys code and things like that. No, like, for example, you was in the corner peeking around the corner, for one, I noticed you wasn't chatting with me, so that's already a problem right there. And like you said, like I feel like he did this to be messy. He did not do this to come to no resolve or solution because it doesn't affect him or at all. He ain't even friends with Harriet like that.
And he's not trying to get with Harriet.
No.
So we move on. Jess, Ronnie, and Kieran are talking. And Ronnie is just saying, like, you need to show Nicole that you want her and don't worry about anybody else. Joey comes over, relays how the conversation went. Ciaran is saying, like, I was going to tell her. Like, he would have rather pulled her for a one-on-one, and he felt like it wasn't a proper way of how everything came out.
Tomato, basically.
And, like, were you really going to pull her one-on-one?
No,
I mean, it took you a little while.
But the funny thing about it is, based on how this show basically ended up, the one-on-one probably wouldn't even been needed because when they reshuffle, he just would have chose her. He just would have chosen Nicole, and then it just would have solved itself.
True.
But now Joey over here being messy Betty over here, and just I like it though. I ain't gonna hold you. I like it because, like, to my point, or actually, it actually was your point. Joey knows how to do reality TV. You know what I mean? So he knows what gets the people going.
Right. Well, Harriet goes inside to cry.
Of course.
Patsy and Uma go inside to console her. And Harriet is upset because she feel like Kieran was being rude. She can't believe how he spoke to her. He was definitely blunt about it. But I thought that she was being dramatic, to be honest. So Nicole comes in to check on her. Harriet says, he's a prick, you can have him.
Okay.
And Nicole's like, okay, I'm going. Patsy is sitting up telling Harriet he's a child.
Stop right there, Patsy. Matter of fact, stop right there twice. Monvia, where you at? Monvia.
He said he had plenty of people to talk to.
But my thing is, your lady is in everybody's scene because you are nowhere to be found, Monvia. I thought you was getting to know Patsy. You're not getting to know Mimi. It just seems like you on vacation.
That's what it looked like to me.
But I thought you was a player. I thought you was the guy that basically be like, hey, don't be offended if you see me out here doing my thing. This is going to be a Monvia neighborhood watch.
Okay.
Every episode. Prepare for me to ask y'all, where is Monvia?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Patsy, this is what happens when you have no one interested in you. You now become interested in everyone's business and drama. How are you just going to take Harriet's word just like as gold because she's crying? You make it seem like he like volunteered like to basically like be blunt. He didn't.
Yeah.
You put him on the spot. What is he supposed to do? You know?
Nicole ends up pulling Kieran for a chat. He explains what happened, and he says that they pretty much put him on the spot. She got her answer, and then Nicole skedaddles away. Harriet, which honestly, she did have a battery put in her back. With people kind of telling her, you should confront him, you need to talk to him. So Harriet walks up to Kieran and says, I can't believe you did that in front of everybody. Why did you say that? If he wants to be with Nicole, that's fine. But you were chanting his name. She starts crying. She's embarrassed. He said he didn't know when he was first asked by her when they talked originally. But in the moment that Joey asked, he did know. She wishes that he would have pulled her for a proper conversation, and Harriet doesn't want to speak to him ever again.
Well, I'm on the show, so like we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Also, just to paint it up a little bit, Nicole was sitting down with Ciaran, and that's when Harriet walks up to them, and she told Nicole to stay, and Nicole was like, "No, I'm not staying. I'm not doing any of that." And the funny thing about it is, while they was having this scene and things of that nature, everybody else was just staring, looking to see what happened. They were like, hey, listen here.
They walked a few feet away, but they was watching.
They was like, hey, somebody said we owe them some privacy. And I would have been like, no, you don't. Actually, my shoe is over there.
Okay.
I'm going over there to get my shoe. What did you think of that scene? You think Ciaran was being dishonest? Do you think he's a player? Do you think, what do you think overall with this scene with him and Harriet?
I feel like Ciaran was nervous, and I think he was being dishonest. I feel like he knew he was feeling Nicole more. He never took the time to pull Harriet for a chat. There was plenty of time and opportunity for him to do it. But I think that he was really just trying to avoid the situation, probably until the recoupling, to where he didn't really have to talk to anybody. But even if I think that he was to pull Harriet for a chat, I feel like he would have handled the conversation kind of similar to how Ayo handled the conversation with Mimi, as far as I'm getting to know people, but I still want to be connected with you and all this type of stuff. Like, I think he wanted to get her alone to kind of break it off with her, but not fully. Like, basically still kind of play in her head that, you know, I still like you. I'm still into you. I'm just exploring. So what about you?
My thing is, I think Harriet thought that they was going to be bottom buddies this whole time. No one chose you. No one chose me. Fate put us together. You was rated low. I was rated low. We all put together. And then she started to really fall for him. And then she realized, like, oh, God, like, girls like him.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I think she's hurt by rejection more than an actual, like, caring guy. Even though I feel like she did like him. But I feel like her ego is bruised.
But do you think that Kieran was lying or being dishonest?
Yeah, but he don't owe her honesty.
Okay.
At all. Like it's a game that, like, we're playing right here. And yeah, like, it's already been known that, like, he's feeling Nicole and that he's trying to figure it out. So with me, I just want to answer her question on the spot. Yeah. Like, if you call me on the spot, like, you don't demand nothing out of me. You get what I'm saying? I was like, Joey, why are you calling me over here? You know? Well,
Samantha is talking to Harriet. I believe it was Uma. It was somebody sitting with Samantha. I couldn't quite remember who was sitting beside her.
Yeah.
But basically, Samantha was just like, you know, you're a lady. You didn't have to kind of embarrass yourself like that. Like, that wasn't necessary how you went about it. So Harriet is saying that Kieran can go ahead and sleep on the day beds for the night. Outside.
No, you can sleep on the day bed because you have a problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not moving out my bed, but like I said, he wanted to sleep on the bed. Go ahead and sleep on the day bed.
Yeah, well, it's the next morning. Joey is talking about how last night was positive, how things got resolved. I'm like, thanks, producer, for pushing the storyline along.
and one other thing, one thing that is a good thing. Before he went to bed, Nicole came and gave him a little nightcap, a little hug, and a little, like, you know. Sorry this happened, but I'm happy it's happened.
I thought she was going to sleep out there with him, but
she just
went back inside. Yeah. So Sean made Harriet some coffee the next morning. Jess says that Harriet really shouldn't have been out there acting the way she was because it wasn't classy. And Jess pretty much asked Patsy, like, or no, Patsy is asking Jess, well, were you saying that whoever encouraged her to do that is not a real friend? And Jess is saying, yeah, I feel that way because I would never encourage a friend of mine to act that way. Patsy, you know, is upset about that, but Jess is just kind of like, I just didn't agree with it.
Dude, did Jess know that Patsy was the one who told her to react that way?
Yeah.
And Patsy and Jess is kind of like at odds with this?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is, honestly, I didn't see a big deal about it. I do think Harriet embarrassed herself because it's not like she was even making any points or making any sense, to be honest. And she was just like crying and just like, it was just not. Maybe if she had her emotions together, she could actually sit down and have a conversation with him. But it was a lot. So if I was a friend to Harriet, I probably wouldn't tell her to go talk to him right now because you're falling apart. Yeah. Like, give yourself a day, you know? What about you?
No. I feel the same way. I just wanted to know what you felt because it wasn't clear in what you just said.
Yeah, I was just recapping. So, Ayo and Kieran chat. So Kieran said, when Joey asked you, you really shouldn't have said anything. You should have pulled Harriet away. Well, this is what Ayo was saying. You should have pulled Harriet away, and you can at least apologize for not having a proper conversation with her.
Okay.
Ayo also says everything is good with him and Mimi. Things are cool with Uma. He likes Mimi's aura, but Uma is different. Like, she just projects her confidence a bit more.
She does.
So Joey and Harriet chat. Joey says that he felt that she needed to know, and he was glad that he was able to be there for her. He tells her, you know, it's not in Friend Island, like, get to flirting. Harriet says that she does like Ronnie and Sean, and Joey says you need to keep your head up and it's time to get to work today. She
don't like no Ronnie. I haven't even heard her say Ronnie's name at any point of this whole show.
Right.
She likes the guy that she was paired with because she had no choice to. And the rejection of it hurts. She don't like Ciaran. I know that much. right? But guess what? You gonna be paired with Sean because we just doing a little switcheroo with the partners.
Yeah.
I think Harriet is gonna find herself on the outs very soon, very very soon, or maybe not. Based on what we see with Ronnie at the end, Ronnie may need a new partner too.
Yeah.
You know.
So Mimi, Jess, and Nicole are talking, and Jess thinks Mimi is handling everything well when it comes to Uma. Mimi would like to know where she stands with Io, but she doesn't feel like Io and Uma have had enough conversations to where Io would know where he stands. I just feel like Mimi is being avoidant.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of avoidant people on this cast, including Harriet and including Kieran. Because Harriet, if you really wanted to know, you could have pressed Kieran out, but she didn't want to do that.
No.
So I'm just like, this doesn't make for good TV. Like, y'all need to start confronting each other. So that will eventually be settled.
Yeah. Also with Mimi, I like when people say I'm not jealous, but it's just annoying. Like, okay, like why are you using that word? Like because you think jealous make you seem more secure about yourself. Why is it annoying? Like basically because you see Io and Uma sitting in the corner, and she's just like, yeah, it's just annoying that that they are like doing it right in front of me. And I'm like, well, go somewhere else. Talk to your person that you paired with.
Right.
Monville. Let's find where he at. You get what I'm saying? Because I haven't seen him this whole episode yet, even up to this point. But no, she's jealous, and someone who has more personality is beating her with just that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, she's not ugly. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like she's just, even if, let's say I could end up falling in love with you just because you're fun.
Yeah.
And Mimi needs to be more fun. Show us more of herself. Or maybe this is just who she is.
Yeah, it might be. So Ronnie pulls Harriet for a chat. I was just like, I think Joey told Ronnie. Or production or somebody, because Harriet never went up to Ronnie and said she was interested. So Ronnie pulls Harriet for a chat. He just basically just wants her to know that he is open to getting to know Harriet, even though he is still getting to know Jess. Harriet says that she is interested in getting to know him as well.
I think that's going to cause some, I think that's a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen in the next coming episodes, because I don't really think Jess is really a big fan of Harriet. I think Jess is the type of person to, like, I don't think she likes anybody, but she's like, she will play it cool with everybody though. Yeah. Like, I don't see anybody like I don't see Jess saying like, this is my friend. But I see her being like, you know what, like, I'm cool with this person, but like, we're not really friends like that. Like a whole bunch of acquaintances. That's how I feel with Jess.
Yeah, I feel like Jess might not appreciate Harriet's erratic behavior at times. And even like with Nicole saying that Harriet was honest with her, I just feel like Jess just kind of peeps how people moves, and she's just not necessarily feeling how Harriet's moving. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So Ciaran ends up apologizing to Harriet about how everything came out. He agrees he should have spoke to her one-on-one, and she appreciates the apology.
Ain't no point in me being uncomfortable here. This only the first week, you know?
So Uma is feeling Io and Kieran. She's telling this to Joey. He says, you know, at this point, anyone's head can be turned. He tells her that she's funny and cute, and she has it all. Io and Mimi talk. Yeah. Mimi says, you know, if stuff is going well with Uma, then she's going to want to pull back. She doesn't want to feel like she's competing, but you are.
I don't understand. I don't understand why she's on the show. Then I don't understand how she got on the show. Besides her just being like, you know, good looking. First of all, just this scene alone. If this is supposed to be your man, and if you really like him, and you got the feels for him, why are you sitting on a separate bed? Yeah. Like another girl have your man's interest. I'm not saying that you have to go the extra mile to where it's like now you gotta be naked and do all these other things, but you have to let him know like that you are still interested in him. So it's and then on top of that, you don't know who got the power. You know, so she's sitting on the other bed as if they're roommates. You should have been sitting on the same bed with him. One thing that Uma does that I think is very opposite of Mimi. Uma gets in your space. You get what I'm saying? So if she's talking to you, if she's with you, she's in your space. And she was just too far, in my opinion. I feel like Mimi was just like, I want you to chase me. Well, it's not going to happen if someone else is actually being proactive. The guy's going to choose the girl who's being proactive. It's just how it works.
Right. Well, Joey and Samantha talk. Samantha wants Joey to tell her if he likes Uma more.
Oh, my goodness.
And then the Islanders get a text. There will be a recoupling tonight where the guys will choose. However, Uma will choose first as she is the new Islander.
Good twist.
So we gather around the fire pit. Uma ends up choosing Io. Ronnie chooses Jess. But the way Ronnie chose Jess was just the weirdest way.
How so?
Because he was talking in circles and pretty much saying that he wanted to choose who he's going to choose, but there was somebody else who was also capturing his attention. So for a while there, you really didn't know which way he was going. And Jess tells him that he made her look like a dickhead. And I'm just like, he absolutely did.
Listen here, the girls was like, I would have been raging.
Yeah.
Because he basically was like, the person I'm choosing is also a person that I'm not choosing, but I'm gonna choose her for now because she's a placeholder for the person that I'm gonna choose.
Pretty much.
Jessica, just come. You know what I mean? Like, and then like what? Like, how did she supposed to feel? She said basically what she said, to put it in layman terms, is okay, game on.
Yeah.
Like even though you chose me, like, okay, I see where you are. Game on. You know what I mean?
Well, Joey chooses Samantha, and Samantha was just all smiles. I saw the back of her throat, like just happy. Kieran chooses Nicole. Sean chooses Harriet. Manveer chooses Patsy.
Manveer was on the show?
Yeah. Surprise.
Wow. Good thing he showed up for like the voting and the picking, because I ain't seen him on the show the whole time.
Right. So Mimi's looking all sad faced, and even I was kind of wrapping up my notes saying Mimi going home until Mimi gets a text.
Hold on for a second. When Mimi was standing there by herself, Uma was talking to Io, and she was basically like, I feel bad. Do you think she felt bad?
A little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think she felt bad.
Okay.
I think she happy she got Io. And Io sitting there, he trying not to make eye contact. But, hey, it just is what it is. I think it was actually a good situation to where he can say, I didn't choose myself.
He didn't have to choose.
You know, like, I'm sorry it happened to you. And I don't know, in this moment, right, before we know what's about to happen, do you think Io had any regrets, though?
No, I don't.
I don't think he had any regrets
But
either.
I don't think he really did anything except for talk to multiple people. So I don't know what he would have to regret.
Like, because they always talking about how they are going to get to know each other and have more time with each other, split his time and things like that. And in that moment, he just looked like he had regrets. He just looked sad. He just looked like, wow.
I think he probably looked sad because he thought she was going home. And he probably still wanted to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until what happened?
Until she gets a text that she's going on a date with the new bombshell, Omar. So she was super happy. She runs out and she gets ready for her date. And that is where we end.
What do you think is going to happen with them two?
I think Mimi is going to try to connect with Omar and maybe kind of try to play up that situation to get back at Io. I don't necessarily know if she's going to connect with Omar. I didn't feel like we got to see enough of his personality necessarily. So we'll see. But I honestly feel like Mimi and Io's personality goes together more. Like they both seem like reserved, chill people. And although Io likes Uma's personality, I could see that maybe being too much for him at times, like in the real world, if she's like that with everybody. So I feel like honestly, Mimi and Io might be the better match. So.
Here's the thing. I think she's going to use Omar to get back at Io. For sure. Like, I think he is going to be a pawn in Mimi's game to get back at Io. Because, hey, you got your person, I got my person. You know? Especially since they paired now. Also, I think I got a lot of twists and turns. Samantha, you're not safe. Right? And even Mimi, I don't think you're safe. In the sense of, I think Uma is the type to, I think she's a disruptor. I think she's going to come in and, for one, continue to talk to Joey and basically make him feel like, you know, as Joey said, my options are open. She's going to test that. And how Uma reacts to Mimi having her new person is going to let me know how bad she really felt for Mimi. I think Mimi's the type, I mean, not Mimi, I think Uma's the type to basically be like, I want it because you have it. Okay. So I have a lot of storylines that I'm cooking up with with Joey in the background of where we gonna go and how we gonna do it.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
Listen here, join us. We will be back tomorrow, and y'all be good.
Bye.